Okay, so today is fridge day. So that's an old compressor that's coming out, and that's an old compressor that's got to come out. But in order to do this and get room, the water maker has to come out. So we've got our pre-filters here, initial pump, the reverse osmosis filter, and the high pressure Clark pump. That we don't want any of this, so it's all going to come out anyways eventually. But now it's just a good time to do it to get to the fridge. We're going to pull this out. So you know how when they say but where it takes 16 times as long and is 14 times more expensive than you think. Not very expensive, but definitely time consuming. Here's a pro tip. When you are trying to get a hose off, you've got the clamp removed. Clamp's removed, but this is stuck. Bing! Just take a razor and cut that. And I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so sometimes, this one was easy, but sometimes when it's really hard to get off, you could stick your flat blade screwdriver in there and then just turn it, and that'll split it. But this one came off pretty simple. All right, so water maker gone. The Clark pump that was with it, the wire, the high voltage feed, and this one was weird. I'll show you guys it later, but it had two hoses, water inlet and outlet, and then on the bottom there was an electrical connection going into this box that was mounted here. It was really, really weird. I don't know why. I've never seen that before. But now you can see removing the old water maker. Now we can get to fridge compressor number 1, and then little baby fridge compressor number 2. For some reason, the fresh water maker has been plumbed to the house fresh water line here. Probably had something to do with like a backflush, I'm guessing, but that was a surprise because I took this hose off and it went everywhere, hence the towels. And then brine discharge is probably this one, and that was hooked up to this T that goes to a through hole for overboard discharge. But I don't have anything on hand to delete that, so I'm just gonna leave it as is for now while we focus on taking apart or getting these old compressors out of here. Look how rusty that is, and then this one too. Oh man, gross. Rusty crusty. All right, to be continued. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Devin's dad is helping us repair the throttle and transmission shifter at the outside helm. So before, the inside helm was where we could do throttle and transmission. He's helping us with the outside helm to do the same thing. The mechanical wires, I guess, the cables, throttle cable and the transmission cables go up through the binnacle to the levers on the side of the binnacle. They are through bolted to the side of the binnacle, and so what we had to do was make sure that bolt wouldn't fall down. So we had to tie a line around that bolt to pull it back through and make sure we could secure the throttle and transmission cables correct.
Set this up so that we can be able to fish this part back through this hole when we're all done, hopefully.
Good.
So we put about 2 wraps on there, and then we stick it over our hole, And then we go ahead and we pull that up real tight. And then we take our long one and roll it over into the threads behind it. Pull it real tight a couple times there. Not too much or it'll be too fat for us. That's good. And then we're going to take and tie it off here like so. And like so. Now we won't lose that. We'll be able to fish it through our hole after. So now we pull our nut off. And if we are real lucky and hold our jaw straight, we can push this in through that hole. Like so. Elongated hole, so if I can get my sides to go in, there we go. Now it popped.
Okay.
So now we're good there. We've got enough string here. Now we can just pop that in. Like so. That's loose. Now we come up here. Take this side off. That's on. And we can turn it this way. And now, Matthew, we need to push that up like we did before.
Okay, so here we are. We're gonna pull these cables down so that they're the right height above. So this is throttle and transmission adjust. You ready? Yeah, and so while we do that, the string is hooked up to the nut or the bolt. So as we pull these down, the bolt's kind of up here somewhere. And as we pull that down, the bolt's gonna pop out the hole and follow that string that Dad's pulling on. Let's give it a go.
And now we use the pick to kind of hold the thread. And then we want to get this off now. And we got two ways to do this. We can play with it like we're doing, or I can just lose my patience and grab a knife, my trusty tool, and we'll just cut that string off of there. Good. I think that's good enough. Now, so we don't lose it, we're going to do this. We're going to take our washer, and do we have enough? Yeah, we do. We need 2 hands. Set that there. Here. All I want is enough to, a little bit of thread on it. There you go. Oh, come on, you. What's going on? Why not on there straight? Okay. Matthew, let me get a little more string off.
Well, oh, there it goes.
There you go.
Oh, nope.
No, let me get a little more string off.
Okay.
And then then we'll have no trouble.
Okay.
We just gotta get more string off. And I want to go up there. I got my part out more. I got me out more. I'm
You try again?
Yeah, because I'm just about off that string.
Oh, there you go. That'll give me enough.
That should give you enough.
Yep.
Perfect. Now I can just get my string all the way off, and I got my part.
Yay!
Yep.
Good job.
Success.
Okay. Morning at the marina. Got the sun coming up over the trees. Glassy calm. Just beautiful. Blue sky. But look what we woke up to. On the boat. Let's see if it comes up on camera. Yeah, you can see it. So that is smoke, ash. Yeah, smoke. So it rained a little bit last night, and so anything that was just hanging in the air came and landed on our boat. So before it dries, I'm doing some cleaning. Check this out. It does spray off pretty easily. Probably because I'm doing it before it dries. We're still going to scrub it too. Let's go do this. Well, we're all set up with the AC unit, so there's towels around there so I don't spray it with water and get water in the cabin. Oh, fall. Alright. So, unexpected boat project number 1. Okay, so the 2 old compressors have been pulled out from here. The lines, everything's disconnected. Now we're pulling out the compressor plate and the old holding plate to put in the new. So out, 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 all that out, which is silicone to this divider box. So I don't know how we're gonna get that out, but it's all gotta come out. Okay, all of the compressors and a holding plate and evaporator plate are out. So we had all the hoses coming out through here. The holes that are circled, those are the ones that I don't need and I'm gonna patch. That was an old through bulkhead hole that was just duct taped over, and there was like some spray foam, expansion foam blown in there. Yeah, so we've got some work to do to get this cleaned up and ready to receive the new unit. All right, got everything pulled out, mostly clean. In case you're wondering, that there's a drain for water condensation, can drain out. All the circled holes are gonna get filled with thickened epoxy. I need a different plan for that hole right there. It's a big one. And then this is just old silicone that I'm not able to get off right now, but over time I'll work on it. Almost. Well, not almost. It's close. No, it's halfway. Let's say halfway.
Got Papa Silva here. If Papa can't fix it, we're all screwed. Speaking of fixing, what are you working on?
I am working on moving some breakers around so that we can have a new breaker and its own separate circuit for the refrigerator.
Oh, the refrigerator.
So before we go, because we're gonna pull new wires for it and put it on its own breaker independently, and these are all tied in together. So we just needed to kind of do some work in here to make them work for us.
So do you have to create a new one, or are you just taking them apart and making them all individual?
We actually had a breaker that we could free up, and so now what I'm doing is
A disco breaker.
disco breaker. Yeah, it's a strobe, and so this gives us our breaker, and we can make it independent. But I have to move it around in our board here, so we'll all line up with the other breakers, because this is a bus bar and they're all tied together, and our refrigerator has to be an independent, cannot be part of a bus. So this will allow us to be able to do it, and we'll still have our breaker and our switch.
That's separate for the
Yep.
fridge. Nice.
Yeah,
Thanks,
because our
Dad.
old one was 110 and then had a breakdown in it, and not something we can really use.
Yeah. So the new one, is it on 12 volt?
Yep.
Excellent. Perfect. So we're working on the panel to be for 12 volt breaker, so that we can run new wires from our new fridge compressor to the panel board. Excellent. Exciting stuff. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Okay, project for this morning is harvesting as much useful parts from the old water maker that we can. This model is very old. I don't think you can get parts for it anymore. So and it's proprietary as well. I mean, nothing against it, it's fine, but it's just not our preference. So just harvesting some parts, gonna reuse them for something. This fan we'll take care of. There's 2 pumps here we'll use. These filter canisters we'll use. Maybe these switches, and maybe these valves we'll use.
All right, it is official. No more Seattle as the port of call. That has been removed so that we can put Portland, Oregon, and then no more Shingabis 2. It's kind of sad. Because it was like, that's the whole legacy. But it's exciting for her to be ready for her next adventure.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode.